I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about when you know there's chemistry, but they're pulling back. So this comes up a lot, especially when we first start dating somebody. We're just getting to know somebody. A lot of times they come on really strong. Guys do this especially. They come on really strong and then they just disappear. So I'm going to look at a lot of the different reasons that happens, because there's obviously not one set reason. But there are a group of reasons that I have put together that I think is a good understanding of what might be going on for you. This came as a suggestion to somebody. They had sent me a nice little email that said, "Hi Coach Craig, I found your channel recently while I was looking up relationship advice. And I love all the content." Well, thank you so much for the compliment. That always means a lot to Margaret and myself. "My girlfriend and I are both very attractive and successful women in our late 20s, and we keep dating the wrong guys. The ones that seem like they have potential always seem to be immature and disappear. We're both starting to wonder if there's something wrong with us. We feel like we're both pretty selective, but just when things seem to get traction, they pull away. Could you discuss this and help us girls out?" Well, okay. This happens for the men too. But yeah, ladies, I'll give you some help on this one, because this is something that I do see quite a bit. Dating is obviously a tough thing to go through, because you're essentially trying to figure out if you're a fit with a perfect stranger. And a lot of times we're trying to decide that based on looks alone, right? We're physically attracted to this person, and so we think, oh, well, we can make it work based on just that. Well, obviously it goes a lot deeper than that. If you're just choosing somebody based on their looks, you're going to find that there may not be anything else but a physical attraction. Okay, so let's talk about all the different areas. I think it's safe to say, because there's two people involved, you have to look at your behavior and their behavior, because we're trying to make two people fit together. And there are a lot of different reasons why, even though there may be this real strong physical connection, that it's not getting to anything further. And they're with you, they're having a great time, and then they vanish on you, and it's just so frustrating because they leave you wondering and waiting, right? But there may be a reason why they're doing that, okay? So, whether you want to say dating is a game or not, it's subjective. But in a way, you have to look at your behavior and understand how you may be acting or coming across to this other person. People really do love a challenge, and they love the chase. The beginning of a relationship, the chase is so intense, and that wondering and that pondering and the obsessing over if this person is thinking about you, do they like you too? All of that is part of the initial stages of dating, and you have to be aware of that, okay? You can want it to be different than it is, and I could understand why, but you have to accept that this is how dating goes right now, and understand what will work and what won't work. So, if you are eager and you're coming on too strong, it looks like you don't have value, because you're essentially saying, "You're so wonderful and great and amazing, yet you don't really know who this person is, right? It's not like we have relationship resumes. And I used to do a joke in my act about that we need relationship resumes with references, right? Because you don't know who this person is. You're projecting your fantasies on who you're hoping they are, but they know their past, they know who they are, they know what their flaws are, they know what they do in relationships, what they bring to the table. I mean, maybe they have, never been in a long-term relationship, and they've always cheated on people. Only they would know that, and you would have no idea, and yet you're coming on so strong to them, so they're like, oh, well, I've already got her, and they lose interest, right? People do love that challenge, and I hate to say it, but look at fishing. Like, if you go out and you fish, the fishermen always want to get the big one. They don't care about the small ones. They throw those back. They always want the one that takes them a long time to reel in. And you should be a challenge, because if you have value and you value who you are, you're not going to give away your exclusivity easily, right? If you're giving your exclusivity away right away, then it's like, well, who really wants them? They're like trying to give it to you, right? But if somebody is really fighting to get your attention, then they know, wow, this person is challenging, right? I have to show them that I am worthy of being in a commitment with, right? See, so you always have to be aware of how you're acting. So some of you may be coming on so strong that the other person is just bored, they know they have you, and it might overwhelm them, okay? Now, another factor, a huge factor that really nobody considers, is their attachment style, right? Different attachment styles are going to act very differently. Now, the anxious people often come on very strong, and they can be very needy, and they can't, right away, you could start talking to this person within a couple of days, and they act like, you owe them this incredible commitment already, and that's going to turn them off. And so if you do that, they're going to be like, whoa, this is too much. There's something not right with this person to attach to me so quickly. They might not think it, but they're going to feel it, right? Now, the problem is avoidant attachment style people, I have found, this is my opinion, come on very strong sexually in the beginning, but then they don't want to look for a commitment. They will really get a woman's attention, and then they've come on so strong, and this woman is like, who is this guy? And they feel this strong chemistry to him. But then when it comes to anything real, a real connection or commitment, they can't handle that closeness, and they disappear, right? The secure people, they take their time naturally. They just know, I don't know this person, I want to get to know them, but I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to see if there are things that I don't like about them, and if there are those things that I don't like, if I can deal with it. Are they deal breakers for me? Secure people are much more calm and not so pressured to connect or to push away. They're more in the middle. Now, ladies, you tend to be very attracted to the avoidant guys. They look like they're confident guys because they're like, oh, well, they're not chasing you like all these other guys. But the problem is that they're never going to give you the real connection or the commitment that you're looking for. And so you might have found yourself a nice avoidant that when you start to spend all this quality time with them, and then they start to have this feeling and they feel, oh, this is too much for me, and they're not going to verbalize it. They just disappear on you. Now, I learned this in grad school. I remember my professor telling me that anytime she met a man that was charming, it's a big red flag. And that red flag is a narcissist. Narcissist guys often come across as very intense, very charming, very alluring, and they are like a drug. And they just feel so good to be around. They have a way of making you feel incredible. And they love bomb you. And things feel like a drug, a dream come true. Well, that dream often turns out to be a nightmare because it feels like you're going through a drug withdrawal when they vanish on you, and then they start talking to other people and will become so casual about it. They'll be like, well, I never said we were in a commitment, and of course I'm dating other people. They don't even care how it hurts you because they know it's only going to make you go crazy over them. So please be careful with the narcissist. You always want to assess, what is this person looking for? It may not be sexy, but if you want something real, you need to know, what is this person looking for? What are their priorities? Maybe they're not looking for something serious. Some guys will often tell you they are. So you got to be paying close attention to the details. Ask about his history. Ask about his previous relationships. Ask about his relationships with his family, especially his caregivers. You want to look, because if you see that things are unhealthy, they're probably going to be unhealthy in his romantic relationships as well, unless he's really worked on himself. But you've got to look at somebody's history, their background, because how they treat other people, they'll probably treat you the same way. So watch very closely. Now, one of the other reasons that sometimes people are having this strong chemistry with you and things are going really good and then they kind of disappear is because they have someone else in the background. There was somebody before you that they were talking to, and they may have already really liked this person or had feelings for him for a long time and it wasn't going anywhere, or they're still trying to figure out if something's going on with this other person and they don't know who they want, but they're just enjoying talking with you too. Meanwhile, this other person is the priority. So you don't know. You always kind of want to assume that people have other people in the background and that they need to sort that out, and you need to make sure they are really available for a commitment and really looking for a commitment. Okay? Don't just go based on how you feel for a person. Mother Nature has a way of getting us super excited, and all these chemicals are being released in our brain where it just feels like a drug over this new person, and it's just like, wow, intoxicating. And we're just like, oh my gosh, this is the person, this is the guy, I know this is the one. And they probably feel that too, in some ways, except for with the narcissist, right? They're not thinking this is the one right now. So you have to be careful, because when you start going out with somebody new and you're feeling this strong attraction, you start to think about them more, and then when you don't hear from them, it starts to kick in that anxiety. They're not going to call, they have somebody else, and then your behavior escalates. You start to chase them, come on so strong that they get turned off by it, right? You got to be that challenge, right? You want to be the prize. You don't want to be, the fish that's jumping in the boat into the bucket like, take me home now. No, you want to be the one that's a challenge, and so that they're thinking about you, wondering about you, and investing in you. Because if you just make yourself easily available and eager to have them in your life, when they're a stranger, especially in the beginning, they're going to get turned off by it, and they're going to feel it, and then they're probably going to lose interest, and they'll start to ghost you. Let's be honest, not many people will act like adults and even say, hey, I've lost interest, or I'm going to date somebody else. They just vanish on you, and then they pop back later when it didn't work out with that other person. So be aware that, unfortunately, people kind of play a game in the beginning, and some of it is just an internal struggle for them where they're overwhelmed by feelings and maybe they're not sure what they want from you, and maybe your behavior turned them off a little bit, or they got someone else in the background, or their ability to attach. All of these things are real reasons why somebody might have a really strong chemistry with you, but then they disappear and back away. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and of course, when you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching. I do Skype. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And I am now podcasting. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.